This is a download from Bfm 89.9, the business station.
Good afternoon, it's Mira Sivasudi. Welcome to the play. Yes, it is the Spirits Play. It is a cross-cultural and international collaboration which involves 13 artists from Malaysia, Germany, Japan and Indonesia, and it's based on a script written by the late award-winning playwright Kwa Pao Kun. And in the studio with me to explain more about the Spirits Play, which is taking off on the 26th of September, are Swee Keong, artistic director of Nyobakan and also artistic director of this production, together with Toby Wulff, who's a filmmaker, producer and director, multimedia designer from Germany, involved in this play, and Agung Gunawan, who's a co-choreographer as well as a dancer from Indonesia. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you today?
Very good, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Swee Keong, you are Malaysia's Buto expert. Every time I have you in, the only thing that comes to my mind is Buto. What have you been up to over the last couple of months?
2 months. I just back from Cambodia 2 months ago. It was a project by a Japanese director, Hiroshi Koike, and we worked with the Cambodian classical dancers, and Hiroshi Koike been created the story based on Mahabharata, and then we perform in Phnom Penh and also Hanoi. Right. And then when I write back here, and then we start Spirits Play.
The Spirits Play. What was the idea behind the Spirits Play, Swee Keong?
Oh, it's about the war.
It's World War II, am I correct?
Yes, but in the production we are not really focused on the war. But of course, based on the script, and then from the war we see the beauty of life.
Okay, and you have now, taken on... Whose idea was it? Was it yours to bring it all together?
Yes, okay. Yes. I watched this play in Singapore last year.
Right.
I purposely went to Singapore and watched this play. And it's because the approach was interesting to me, because it was a collaboration within Hong Kong's director and another directors from Japan, and they are using the traditional art form, which is the kunqu, the really old
Chinese dance?
No, Chinese opera.
Okay.
It's not Peking opera, but really older than Peking opera, and they are using the original actors from the Suzhou, and also from Japan they are using the No actors. So also another ancient art form from in Japan. So these two art forms are my favorite art form. So I purposely went and watched them.
You watched it, and then you've taken it on in another direction altogether. It sounds very traditional in Singapore, but now you have collaborated with, of course, the Germans, the Japanese, the Indonesians, and you have injected a fusion of different styles into this. I'll come back and find a little bit more, but I'm just going to move on to the Indonesian with us today. Gunawan, you were born in Central Java and you studied Yogyakartanese classical dance. Now, what is that? How would you describe it? I've heard of Yogyakarta. I've not come across the word Yogyakartanese. Yeah.
So, just telling you a little bit. Indonesia is many of kind of dance. So one of them is classical Jogjanese dance. So because the dance come from the palace of Yogyakarta, so we have Jogjakartanese and Surakartanese. So the two of classical dance in Indonesia.
How would you describe Yogyakartanese dance as opposed to what comes from Bali? And
No, that is from Java.
Okay.
That's different. So
sure. So how different is it?
So many things. It's hard to explain with a word.
Try
Indonesian. Because classical dance come from the palace of Yogyakarta. So there is from actually last time, long time ago, 100 years ago. So there is born from there. It's only in the palace area.
Yeah.
So it's just maybe, I'm not sure. And then I think about when Sultan 7 or 5, I'm not sure, they just come to the society, like the people.
Right.
So that is, last time is only in the palace area.
In the palace area. And now it's come out, and is it widely practiced in Yogyakarta?
Yeah. So we can learn in the palace also, and also we have a high school of art and also Institute of Art in Yogyakarta.
Which is where you studied?
Yeah.
And now you continue to teach there?
I'm not teaching.
No more?
No, I'm not teaching. I'm just studying there, and I built my own company.
All right. That's very interesting. And the Yogyakartanese dance involves a lot of usage of masks and, costumes and things like that?
Yes. Actually, easy to find it in the Google. A lot of pictures there.
Yeah. And which is what you are bringing to the Spirits Play?
My background is not only in classical dance, but also in tradition of in Java and some part in Indonesia. So I mix together because it's become like my journey. So now it's more comfortable. It's my own dance.
Your own dance.
Like yes.
So you don't want to say it is Yogyakartanese. It is
it's not totally.
You have collaborated with Japanese. You've collaborated with Australians. How has that experience influenced your dance style?
Well, I love collaboration. So for me, collaboration is about share and sharing, creative work and share and sharing. That is important word for me. And it's many things there. So because I can see many things from other artists from everywhere, what I work, and also I can share something what I have. It's not only in the part where we are work, but also in the feeling and what happened in somewhere, and we can telling something more closer, more family, like a family.
How do you make sure you don't move too far away from classical dance, because then it sort of loses its essence? Do you know when to draw the line?
Sorry.
When you fuse, when you mix the dance into, you've learned the classical Yogyakartanese dance.
Yeah, so I'm starting dance. I'm study dance in 1986. So there is from junior high school, and then that's why I talking about also study about new creation dance based on Indonesian, and also we call maybe contemporary dance but in Javanese background or something like that. And let's just mix it, because from when I'm start and until now I not work. So I just doing my art dance. So that's why I don't know when. But now it's becoming something like
a fusion.
Maybe.
But to me,
do people get upset that you're moving away from classical dance?
But to me, because he been trained since 11 years old till now, but the accents, the flavor of the classical dance is in his blood, in his soul. So to me, no matter how contemporary he is, but he still have the flavor and the accent of his traditional, which is very important.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. We're going to move on to Toby. I mean, Toby, you studied film in Berlin.
Yeah, that's right.
And now you have your own production company.
Yeah.
And some of the work you've done sounds pretty good. I mean, you've done documentaries on Mongolia.
Yeah.
You've done videos and commercials. How do you manage all of it? And how did you come to be part of the whole, the Spirits Play?
Good question.
I mean, working
I'll
out of
answer you to this.
Berlin is a far away place.
Faraway place, yeah. Maybe I'll make two steps back. That's right, what you're telling. I did a lot of documentaries, especially in Mongolia and like this. And I came into this project because of the great percussionist Max, the percussion player from Germany. And he brought me in this game. Can I tell so? Is it right? in this play, in the Spirits Play.
Yeah.
And because Max did already a great project with the artistic director Swee Keong and Kaho, the music director, and so that's how it started. Then one day he just came to me and, hey Toby, there's a great project, and we started talking about it. And then one day it was very funny. I was sitting in my editing room in Berlin. And then also had just, by the way, my Facebook site open. And he just dropped me a line, hey, Toby, can I give you a call? And then, yeah, of course, go for it. And then he called me. And then this time what I didn't knew is that he wasn't here in KL. and because I was wondering, it was a pretty long number on my phone. And then, then we start talking about this project, and then I get into contact with Swee Keong, and we had a very, very good exchange via internet and also Facebook, just exchanging ideas and developing ideas, and that's how it's all started.
Thank God for social media, isn't it? I mean, otherwise we wouldn't be moving as quickly as we can in terms of contemporary and fusion and things like that. But as the artistic director, Swee Keong, when you decided to call Toby and you decided to call Gunawan, where did you decide to stop? You could have called many more people to bring in ideas and be a part of the Spirits Play, but when did you decide, okay, I'm going to stop here now and just concentrate with what I have? And 13 artists is a lot of people to manage.
But of course, I've been working with Agung before, and then he won the Cameroonian.
He did for something called Chatan Kulit.
Yes.
What was that about?
That's the work we collaborate years ago. Yeah, and then Agung was also the dancer and also my collaborator. So we had very good experience, and I like him very much. A very pretty soul of an artist, and I see and learn a lot from him. And then this time I decide to invite him again. To have a deeper understanding or study from this pretty art soul. And of course, Toby, because Max, our percussionist, also our composer. So we've been working a few months ago in the Green Snake and the Monk. So it was also a very good experience, and we had a great success in that production. So, and then when we talk about this project, and then somehow...
Japanese? Do you have Japanese people as well on board?
Oh,
no,
yes, Japanese.
Yeah.
Japanese, they are the musicians. Kaho's favorite musician. So for musicians' side, all depends on Kaho. Yes.
Okay. When we come back, we'll find out more about the Spirits Play, which kicks off on the 26th of September till the 29th of September. I'll give you more details up next on The Bigger Picture, BFM 89.9.
This is a download from BFM 89.9. The business station.
Good afternoon. It is The Bigger Picture, and it's Mira Sivasudi. We're discussing a play called The Spirits Play, and in the studio with me, Swee Keong. He's the artistic director of New Bakan. Tobias Wulff was a filmmaker, producer, and director, and Agung Gunawan, who's a co-choreographer and dancer. Now, it's the whole play, Swee Keong, is based on a script written by the late award-winning playwright Koh Pao Kun. From Singapore. Do you know very much about Pao Kun?
Not very much, but we've been do a bit of research of him. In fact, he been also interview some survivor from the war. From the war, and then he gathered many materials, and then he created this play.
Have you stuck very closely to his script, or have you adapted to Malaysia, or the sort of fusion that you're bringing together here?
Fusions of...
so you have not stuck to the original script?
No, of course, from very beginning, so of course I have to do a very serious study on this script. And then from there, and then I start to structure the whole play.
Have you Malaysianized the play?
Sort of. But of course we have also a great input from artists.
Right.
Yes.
Who and Gunawan, when you read the script, I mean, were you comfortable with it?
Yes. I always for me it's challenging because actually I just know that Spirit plays from this project. So I try to learn what's happening in the script, and I try to adapt with my own culture, and my own culture, and mix with the Ma Yong from here, and also, of course, under direction from Keong. It will be something great coming.
I understand. I understand you are going to use a lot of masks and things like that.
Yeah.
Who makes these masks?
So. Especially my mask, I have a friend who maker like mask maker. So I asked him to make specially for for me, yeah.
And the rest of the mask we ordered from Bali. Yeah, so you can see two kind of different character of mask, which is from Java and Bali. So the mask will be the important elements in this performance.
Okay, how so? Can you describe a little for me?
Basically, in the theater, we see our face, or we see how the actor or the dancer move. But it's amazing. But mass dance is another kind of training or discipline. But from here, I'm getting a lot of inspiration from Agung Gunawan, and then from there we try to create based on the mass. Yeah, and this is not a dance drama, but this is also my first time doing this creation based on the script. But we structure it into a multi-sensory production.
How did you do that? I mean, you're performing as well, Swee Keong. Are you? You're going to do the buto?
I'm not perform a lot, so but because I need to more concentrate on the choreography and also directing everything.
And who are some of the other actors and actresses or dancers in the whole production?
Oh yeah, we have Jack, and also Louise and Xiu Qing. So and also a Malay Mak Yong actor. So in this play, there's a very important scene which played by Agung Gunawan and Mak Yong. So his name called Mak Yong because he played Mak Yong. Everybody call him Mak Yong. So we are fusion.
I'm going to call you Buto from now on.
Don't. And of course, I don't know Mak Yong well, but I mean the art form. But everybody, all Malaysians know Mak Yong, and we are making use of this art form, and then to create a scene, so-called. The Chang and the Xiang story, which is the two animals appear in the script.
Two animals?
Yes.
I thought they were spirits.
Possible.
It's left to your imagination. Yeah. It's a cross-media production. You've got dance, you've got music, you've got video art, you've got mask, and you've got art installation. Toby, of course, you're very much involved in multimedia and film and things like that. Yeah. How did you come into all of this? I mean, how did you decide how you were going to work with multimedia in this production?
In this production?
Yeah, in this production.
It was just I just have to be sure to get your question right. So, but I just start to answer, and then you can.
I'll steer you.
Yeah. Okay. It's just a process of the developing and getting ideas what will fit, because the story, of course, I read also the story, and it's a very serious topic. It's about the war, and I was it's also quite challenging to get such a serious story and topic on stage with artists from everywhere, from all over the world, with many different cultures and influences. And it's just a running process until now, from the very beginning until now. And every day we find some new ideas what to get on, in my case, on the screen. Yeah. And,
so your input in terms of multimedia would be just projection on screens, or is there other
I'm working for this project. I'm working as video artist, and I'm doing the projections on screen. And some footage I prepared already. I worked together with Swee Keong in Germany. I brought here some footage, and some footage we shot here directly on location.
And you will control with live sound footage. We are not like fix everything 100%. It is quite interactive during the performance.
So it's live-controlled multimedia, because...
so are you going to be controlling based on how you feel, or how when you don't feel like doing anything, when you don't feel like doing anything, you just don't do anything.
It must be. It should be controlled, because the duration of each scene, could change a little bit every day and every performance, and so it's very good to, like a musician, a drummer, for example, is not always playing the same day, the same. If you know what I mean? And so it's a process, and it's very important to have the control over it, to interact with everyone. And everything.
Is there audience interaction?
A little bit.
I'm sitting right behind.
It is a very organic progress. Yeah, even though now we are not fixing everything 100%, so we still allow some space to be improvised, but based on a very structure.
Okay. The problem I find with cross-media productions, and that just could be me, is that sometimes I find it hard. I'm not sure where to focus. Am I focusing on the dance?
You are right.
Am I focusing on the multimedia?
You are right, yes.
Am I looking at the art installation? So how do you make sure then that the audience isn't too distracted?
But sorry to tell you, this is based on the experience, and also how creative or how pandai you are to ensure, not to make it too busy, but yet to be focused, and yet you are also aware of all these elements are happening.
Okay. Art installations, the other aspect. I mean, who's looking after art installation?
Me too, but it's not really like art installation, but because we have two huge screen, which is 40 feet by 9 feet, which is a big challenge for
It was really big challenge.
Toby, yeah.
For Toby?
Yeah.
And we
You're
have to
being paid enough?
we have to hire a very expensive projector for Toby to play the video art. Yeah.
Okay.
And then during the scenes change, and we may have a different position of the screen, and then how the dancers, the actor, and the musician position on stage with the screen. Yeah.
Is very important. Very, very important to make sure that it's being projected in the right way. You have choreographers, composers, dancers, musicians, video artists from Europe and Asia. And when it came to discussing the war, people in Asia would have had a different experience. People in, like Toby, would have had a different experience. Oh, you weren't living at that time, but I'm sure the Germans have had their fair share of experience. So how did you, Swee Keong, ensure that you brought both the experiences together in order to make sure that it was holistic enough and realistic enough?
Yeah. But first of all, we are not really focused on the issues of war, but war also, like every day, like we are having war with ourselves too. So I try to make this make sense to everyone. So first of all, we have to see ourselves first, our relation with our family members, with our society, among the countries, the economies, the politics, all these are war. So based on all this personal experience, and then because anyhow war also the history of human being. So it's everybody's story.
Right. So if you talk about the story, in a nutshell, it deals with the memorial of death and the meaning of life.
Yes.
And that is how you would encapsulate the whole. I don't want to give away too much, just to not take away, the whole.
But after all, from the death, we see the beauty of life. Yeah.
Could you feel it, Gunawan, the beauty of life when you were performing?
He looks so beautiful. I want to answer for him. He looks so beautiful on stage.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he does. But did you feel it when you were dancing?
Yes. It's always beautiful.
Do you always take on... do you sort of go into... Sorry, I'm just completely digressing here. Do you go into a trance-like state at any stage of your performance?
No. So we in our trance, especially in my dance training, so we call... Actually, even in Bahasa Indonesia, I don't know how to translate. We call manjing. So manjing is not trance. So you can of trance, but you in the control.
Still in the awareness.
Semi,
Yeah, something like that.
You are in a trance, but you're totally aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And how do you snap out of it? How do you come out of it? When you stop dancing?
No, actually, it's similar. When you are work, you must have a concentration. You must attend what you do. That is similar.
Okay. It's not about go in and come out.
Yep.
Because you're totally with your awareness. So it's up to your control.
Toby, what was it like working with the dancers?
Nightmare.
No.
And be honest.
Be honest.
It's absolutely really, I'm very honest, it's really amazing to see just the work of the dancers.
Your nose is growing longer.
He's so cheerful.
It is? No, I'm very serious.
How do you put up with all these artistic people?
Sorry?
How do you put up with all these artistic people?
Because he's artistic.
Yeah.
In your own right, you certainly are. But was it an experience? How would you describe the experience working with them and putting the whole show together?
It was a very new experience because this project is something very unique. Of course, I worked a lot together with people from also another international project, but a project like this is very unique, and this is very, very nice to see how the project is growing and growing more. And this is what I can tell so far, because I'm still very excited. And yeah.
What are you going to go on to do after this? Are you going to stay here in Malaysia or going back to Berlin to attend to your company?
I will stay in Malaysia 1 more week for another project, and then after this I will go 1 week to Singapore, and then just directly, I think it's around the 15th of October, I will go back to Berlin, because there's also some work waiting.
Okay.
But now I'm here and I'm very looking forward to the show.
He's coming back, isn't he? You can expect him to come back.
Of course. Yeah.
It is indeed infectious. This country is.
Yeah,
Everybody
definitely.
wants to come back,
Yeah,
and of course, what are you
exactly.
going to go on to do after this?
So next month, in November, I join with Malacca Festival.
So you do a lot of work here in Malaysia then?
Mostly every year I come. Yeah,
Every year.
Every
Okay.
year.
Are you going to go back to Indonesia soon?
yeah. And the 1st October, and because I also have a work there, I must go to Australia for after this month.
Busy artist.
Yes, they need to earn some money. It's always a problem, isn't it? Trying to
Not
make
about
ends meet.
earning the money, but they just love art.
I'm sure they do. And Swee Keong, I understand the 6th Nyobakan Butu Festival in KL is in November. You're going to be very busy with that.
Yes. So after this, and then immediately will be the Buto Festival in the last weekend of November.
So I suppose I'll be having you back on in November.
Sure.
All right. So the Spirits Play will premiere on the 26th of September till the 29th of September at the Black Box Damansara Performing Arts Centre, Empire Damansara, at Damansara Perdana, Petaling Jaya. And tickets for the 26th, which is the premiere night, is at 48 ringgit for adults and 38 ringgit for students, senior citizens and the disabled. From the 27th to the 29th, it is 68 ringgit for adults and 48 ringgit for students, senior citizens and the disabled. If you'd like more information, just log on to facebook.com/The Spirits Play. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a
for having
pleasure.
us. Yeah.
It was a pleasure having you on. There was Swee Keong, Artistic Director, Tobias Wulff, Filmmaker, Producer and Director, as well as Agung Gunawan, who's a co-choreographer and dancer of The Spirits Play on the Bigger Picture Bfm 89.9.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on iTunes. Bfm 89.9, the business station.